All right, everything is recording, looking good. Okay, welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Sunday, May 5th, 2024. It's an interesting weekend. Things are just starting to maybe make a big move, so let's check it out. All right, BitcoinDailyView.com, as always, got more for you there. Bitcoin Daily View, beautiful little logo. Boom. All right, looking at volume. Last 24 hours, it's looking at 5 billion. This is Bitcoin trading volume, about 5 billion in our trading volume last 24 hours. That's down 43% the last 24 hours. So we're definitely seeing a weekend decline in volume, and that's just fine. 5 billion is a nice spot to be right now. No, sorry, no particular longs or shorts getting wrecked right now. Do note that we are testing previous resistance, so we'll see which way it goes. But not seeing any mega buys come in or mega sells. Not seeing too much activity. Pretty smooth sailing. No one's trying too hard to long or short and getting wrecked. Well, somebody is, but not a lot of people. It's not a big trend. Looking at Bitcoin longs and shorts on Binance, what the big money is: 52% long, 47% short. That's a slight long bias, and I think I know why. Ethereum, we need to check this out. For whatever reason, it's 70% long, 30% short. So let's see what's going on with that, because it's interesting. Looking at the big top 20 exchanges, most are beginning to flip red. Definitely a downtrend in spot trading volume, but beware, that might change very, very quickly. Looking at Bitcoin, the top 100, Bitcoin's coming in at 63,833. As usual, this site cannot completely load. I don't know why. It's a beautiful site, live Bitcoin charts, but it's just they need to put some more cores in the in the VM or something, because this thing is slow. But anyway, it is up. We're at 50% market cap dominance, 50.7%. Looking at the top 100 alts right now, Arweave, just AR, making a nice move, up 15%. Render, RNDR, yes, good project, 9.2%. I don't know what a cash network is, but AKT is up 19%. And World Coin, WLD is up 7.5%. So we got some things moving. I like what I'm seeing. It's kind of a flat market with things moving that are actually moving for some reason in their, financial ecosystem, you could say. Near a cool project, up, what's that, 3.8%. So this might be a nice place to settle into some alts or Bitcoin and come in for the big win, which may be scheduled for later today or Monday. And I'll show you why. This is a big deal. Bitcoin, this is a daily chart. We're well above the 200. As you can see, yes, overall, we are kind of on the daily chart here, which kind of gets rid of a lot of the, jerkiness. You can kind of see that, you know what, we are pretty much in a downwards channel. But are we going to stay there or make a move upwards? Now, here's what I'm noticing here on the daily chart, which I think is worth noting. Oops, let me go here. Boom, daily chart. Look what just happened. Hope you can see it. I need to make these a little bit bolder, but the blue line here is the MACD. The red line is the signal. Of course, here's the histogram above that. Histogram is just starting to turn positive, which means, it means that the MACD signal and the MACD are widening in distance. So uh, the MACD, the blue, has crossed the red signal, and that's a daily cross, and it's down here with in the sweet spot for that, because when you're down here below the heartbeat, as I call it, and you make a nice sharp abrupt cross above, if you can hold that, sometimes they don't last very long, but if you can hold that and make a move, as you can see way back here when that happened, which would have been like January 2024, we had a nice daily MACD cross, and boom, how wonderful. Then of course we also had a negative MACD cross back here in like March of 2024, and boom, what happened? We've been down ever since. But now we're seeing a nice low MACD cross, and below the heartbeat, as I call it, this is a nice abrupt cross. It's in the right spot. A lot of algorithmic trading happens on that. Both small players and mega big players do take the MACD, daily MACD. It's a big, 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 big deal. So I would say that if nothing else, because of the cross where it's taking place right now, I think we're going to see that we're going to see some algorithmic money moving. And also there's people who do swing trade Bitcoin, and they do it kind of in a lazy way. They'll oftentimes use this 2-hour MACD and the daily MACD, and the 2-hour MACD oftentimes does cross and give you an early inclination of where the daily is going to go. So there you go. Any interesting news? No. No interesting news. Let's see. Looking at 2-hour chart. So the 2-hour MACD, where is it going? 2-hour MACD is big. It's high right now. The tangent is towards the positive, so we'll see what happens there. But definitely the 2-hour MACD is showing us some positive energy. And also, if we do look at the 2-hour chart, it does have power when it comes to the longer swing trades. I think it does in correlation with the daily. And if we do look here, we've got something beautiful happening on the 2-hour chart. Yes, it's of course following the daily, downwards channel. But what just happened? And it's not the first time it happened, but still, it's a positive thing. We have crossed the 200 moving average, the white moving average there, and the 314, the green moving average. If we can hold that 314, if we can keep moving up, definitely could see a run back to the top of this channel and a retrace, or with that daily MACD cross in the sweet spot, maybe we're going to go up. And, who knows exactly how far we will go. If nothing else, I think there's a really good chance of breaking above, coming down, and making the top of this channel, the bottom of this channel, the top of this channel, the new bottom of the next. So anyway, I'm seeing some powerful stuff. I like what I'm seeing. So we'll just leave it at that. I think Bitcoin definitely, let's clear this up here. Let's look at a 45-minute chart with all the cool indicators for the, see one thing about the, sorry about that. One thing about this moment here on the 45-minute chart, looking at Bitcoin here, is do note that we definitely are. So I like this, right? So here's the, sorry, I need to get a new mouse. I have two mice, believe it or not, and neither one works very well. They're both plugged in. I have to go back and forth. I'm mouse challenged. But the daily squeeze indicator, I'm sorry, the 45-minute squeeze indicator, it's in a squeeze pattern. It's beginning to move towards the positive. We're above the 200 moving average, but above the 314. We have a nice, it's kind of jerky to call it an upwards channel, but I kind of will. I think you can work with it. The directional index is in the green. ADX is nice and perky. We're not seeing some massive amount of volume like just this very moment, but there has been volume. We're not looking too bad. If I was to pull this out, let's see, can we actually make any kind of an elegant upwards channel in this? I would say sort of. If we do something like this, I'm just going to say this is what, like, there we go. Here's what I think kind of happened. If you look, this is something that I think is always kind of a positive sign, is that, so we had this upwards channel and all was good. We broke out of it, came down, made the top of this upwards channel, the bottom of the new channel, and that's kind of interesting because then you can kind of turn around and you can do something like this. You can say, well, I kind of predict some kind of a movement like this happening, maybe this is the new channel that we're playing with. And maybe I could kind of think, well, wouldn't it make sense that possibly we will run back up to the top of that channel? Forecast, right? Yeah. If we ran it up to the top of this channel, that looks like about 3%. And if you kind of just follow these curves that we have in the momentum, you could see that in 6 hours or 12 or a day or so. So definitely you could see 3% before the next retrace if we continue moving up, unless we just Lambo right past all that stuff. So anyway, I like what I'm seeing. I think it's pretty good. We're good to go. So let's quickly look at the market. I know it's kind of closed right now, but some of these are open, some of these are not. Let's see, this candle here is for Friday, but still, as you can see, that the daily top left-hand corner here, the daily DXY definitely been taking a hardcore dump last couple days. Crude oil, this is insane. There's no way it's dumping like that. It's testing previous support and resistance. So we'll see if it bounces there. But this is just, to me, this means there's manipulation beyond comprehension going on. There's no way with the current tensions in the world that crude is dumping. That's just total BS. So anyway, manipulation out that's just US oil is the ticker I'm looking at on the daily. That's just not happening. So anyway, manipulation, especially as we have burnt up a lot of our reserves to do escapades in other countries and support failing economic ways of living and stuff like that. So anyway, this is going to make a retrace one day towards the positive, which is going to be insane. If we had any real true tension. If we had things go a little bit too wrong in the Middle East, which they certainly could, great speculators that I think know what they're talking about, that have great track records of decades, would say oil would be $130 overnight. So anyway, I'm still trying to find a way to hedge into this as an ETF of some kind or something. I just don't know how to do that traditional trading. But if anybody knows, let me know, because I want in on oil. Okay, anyway, looking at gold. Gold's been weak. It's kind of weak right now. Silver's kind of weak. We'll see if these guys are going to continue this slight downwards channel, or if they're going to bounce. But definitely, gold and silver ran up pretty dang hard the last few weeks, and a retrace certainly makes sense. But I always look at gold and silver. It's not really a trade. It's just taking fiat money, or crypto money, and you're putting it into wealth. You're just parking it in your coins. Some say coins are the spot. Like the overhead makes them not worth it. Some like them, some don't. Some think bullion is better, but it's really a matter of opinion that is beyond my. I've listened to a lot of pros, and I kind of prefer the coins for various reasons. But anyway, regardless of how you get it, you are just pretty much putting your money into wealth. Something to think about, as you're making those beautiful crypto profits. Why not just take a little bit and I'll just go to the coin store, and invest it into wealth and just let it be, There's reasons for that, Crypto truth seekers, you should know that gold and silver are not your enemies. So anyway, we'll see which way they go next week. It's going to be interesting. I don't know. A little bit of interesting stuff I just saw. This is an album. An article here on Zero Hedge, which is kind of interesting. Are we destroying the economy on purpose? It really makes a bit of sense. It's interesting, and it's got Andy here in it. And he says, Andy laid out how the theory makes all too much sense. So what is the Fed going to do? Maybe they're doing what they want to do, and that is to incentivize the reset, and not at the hands of Powell, or not at the hands of Janet Yellen, even though it really is, but a villain is to blame it on. And I don't know how else you can explain the stupidity. You would be a far better president and a far better, head of the Federal Reserve or Treasury Secretary. This gets a little bit hard to read here. It's just the way he's speaking. But what he's saying is, if I could... who will... So basically the idea is, I can just summarize it better than I can kind of quote it for you. If anyone knows how some people have this thing where they can highlight a web page like this, like highlight sections, and then it stays highlighted, and they go back and they can like reference it. See, now I highlight that, but if I highlight like this, maybe I just hold control down. Maybe that's how they do it. Okay, thanks for the help. I'll do that in the future so I can quote things better. But he gets a little bit roundabout in his words. But the idea is that maybe the Great Reset is just an aspect of, it's another way for the bigs to make a lot of money, to control the world. But also they can blame, a lot of the current world events on it. So they need a boogeyman. They need this. They need that. So in a sense, what a great cover, to have your CBDCs, or have your Great Reset, or whatever it is, however you want to look at it. Maybe the disaster ultimately is kind of like engineered chaos too, and they've already got their fall guys lined up, which it kind of looks like they do. You have a lot of turmoil, a lot of unrest, and it's like we oftentimes think politicians are stupid, the Fed is stupid, but no, they're actually not. They just don't serve you. They want you to think they're stupid, but they're not. They're very intelligent. They just don't serve you. You get their retarded face, duh, and you get their gaslighting and all that crap. But their real masters, believe me, they are obedient to and ruthlessly intelligent, like only a psychopathic narcissist can be. So anyway, he makes the case that what we're walking into is a situation that is being engineered, that is ruthlessly precise. So if we do have the Great Reset, which is being talked about, then it didn't just happen by accident. Maybe it's just like a cyclical thing, which they're engineering for their purposes, because it wipes out the power of the people. You're all broke now, and they own you now. You own nothing and like it, but actually you don't like anything. Your life is crap, and and that's just reality. So anyway, I'm mentioning this article. I'm going to link to it here in the live chat. So if you're listening, you can go to the live chat, and there's a link. Hopefully you can actually get it. I'll try to comment I'll put these two as comments in the videos too. Maybe not right. I'll put them as comments in the videos. But why I mention that is because I just talked to Andy Schechtman recently, and we talked about exactly this, which is now an article in on Zero Hedge. We're always a little bit futuristic there at Radiant Creators. So I'm going to put that interview right there in the live chat. I'll try to put a comment there as well. I see that, let's see, geared for this. Yeah. Just said morning, Craig. Morning, geared for this. Blockchain education. That would be our friend over there, Robert. Let's see. Can I click on this somehow? I got to click on it somehow. I want to see it. What is this? Markets are we destroying? Yes. It's so funny. He just actually not texted, but he commented that article, which I'm just talking about now. Because yeah, if you go to Zero Hedge, you'll see it, and it's just so damn poignant. Like I say, we did an interview recently with Andy. It's gotten some, we're a small podcast, but it's only got a couple hundred views, but it's recent, and I think that it makes a point that you just cannot miss. Anyway, with that said, I did ask over here. I asked Robert this morning. I asked kind of the crew over here at Blockchain Education. If you go to Blockchain Education, here at the link, you can sign up. It's a great team. Come in for the big win, learn some badass methodology for trading, and hang out with a group that's dedicated to mutual success. I'm going to go over here to the chat right now, and I did ask about, is anything looking good this morning? And Robert was mentioning TRB versus Tether. So TRB versus Tether just made a beautiful move here on the 4-hour chart, breaking a previous high. Indicators looking quite good. Definitely one to watch. TRB versus Tether. You might find it on other exchanges, and also you might want to look at something moving that hard against Bitcoin. Also, all these beautiful indicators he's using, I'm going to start also using those as well. I have the template. I just have not hammered them out quite good enough to really use them effectively, but I'll be integrating those into the videos as well, so we get all the info we possibly can. Our ARKM, so it's ARKM versus Tether on Binance. I would also look at this against BTC, and I would look at it on different exchanges, whichever ones you might use. But we're making a beautiful break above, I think, off the 200. This is an 8-hour chart. Whoa, off the 200. I think breaking the 314 as well, or breaking the 200. Not sure how his color coding works there, but definitely breaking previous highs. Well, we were doing a higher high than a higher low. But we did have a higher low and a higher low, so now we do have a new higher high, which is breaking that trend. Great looking indicators. This one is definitely one to play at your own, throw your own trading methodology at it. But when I'll start throwing out the ones that Robert is like mentioning, I'll doing these more regularly, and I'll be like, hey crew, what are you guys into right now? What's hot? And I'll just share those with you. Anyway, bitcoindailyvideo.com, got more for you there. I made kind of a commitment between like me and God, like I will do a video every day to the end of the month and see if I can make a habit of it, because it helps me, it helps you guys. I enjoy doing it, and I want to expand this a bit and do more with it. But if you go over to bitcoindailyview.com and check it out, I love when people use the affiliate links. It brings me great happiness. And like I say, Andy's badass. I'm sorry I can't articulate it so well what he said here. I just kind of I should have highlighted things, but it's also, just watch the video that we did this interview, and it's pretty badass. And he makes the case that if you are aware, you're like spiritually alive, spiritually awake, you're seeing the truth on the mundane levels as well. You're kind of a fringe dweller. You're living in this world, but there's something a little bit more to it. You got one foot in, one foot out, of this world, but not in it. You have this vision and this intuition, this beautiful, like providence, and good fortune comes your way, and you're always going to be a little bit ahead, or maybe even years ahead, but always ahead as you need to be to prosper, regardless of what happens. You can thrive. So that's why I mentioned this, creating a financial life to win. If you're here, you know what's up. Check this interview out, comment, and let me know you were there. Take care, and I will see you guys every dang day by the end of the month, and hopefully I'll have such an incredible habit going by that point, by the end of the month, and that we can keep rolling. So anyway, comment on this, share it. hook me up. Let me know you're there. Take care. Talk to you tomorrow.